Alright, let's test drive Interleave VR version 1.5. This would be the first version with 2 levels in it, not just 1. So I'm going to cut to the chase and go right ahead and jump to the new level. It says right here, press 2 to jump to scene 2, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And that has taken me to the start point of the second scene. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play through this one with the default control scheme. Now I could actually pick... I've personally taken a liking into the classic control scheme because of its balance between controller and aim. And if you're looking for high aim precision, you take alternate VR, which uses the look control to aim, and the default control, which uses the look control to move the ship. So let's take a look at this, the brand new part of version 1.5.
What the f... You just materialized in a subspace tunnel right in the middle of warp! That should never happen! The Clipper's engine can't even do that! I lost contact with your warp control a few seconds before this happened. Something messed up the commands I'm sending to the Clipper. What? Oh, come on! I'm getting hits on radar! You've got enemy ships coming for you! How is that even possible? Fight them off! I need time to figure out what the hell's going on!
So you can probably tell that this is absolutely not the same genre of level as the original level, the first one. The new scene is basically takes place in subspace. It sort of tries to recreate that retro shoot-'em-up style in a 3D virtual reality environment with its own mechanics, of course. It's a whole bunch of work done to actually get this scene working well, and there's more enemies, it's got more difficulty, there's new patterns as you can see. It's a little bit more difficult. And it's got some good narrative and a nice punchy soundtrack there, which I figured was suitable for the subspace theme.
The news first. I just regained control of your warp systems. I can break you out of that tunnel, just I can't control where I'll break you out to. You're definitely not going home yet. I'll have time to figure out what to do once you're out of there. The bad news came right from the radar. There's something storming your way, and while I can't tell what it is, I can tell you it's big. Heads up, stay in one piece, I just need 30 more seconds.
Now here's the deal, this enemy is new. You might notice that he sort of attacks like the first mini-boss, but for right now, he's in that part of the cycle that I made unique to this enemy, which shoots a very damaging pair of bullets your way right there, and tracks your position. And if you don't constantly use the pulverizer on him, you will not defeat him. This will happen, and then the level will end. In this case, it's because I did not use the pulverizer. In fact, the first thing you pick up before you confront him is a rapid reload WDA, which I didn't even make use of. But I will play through the entire game now to actually show you how it flows end to end. But that's for the quick look at the brand new scene. Alright, let's continue with this playthrough. This time I'm gonna go through the whole game, end to end, both scenes. And this time I'm actually gonna take the classic control scheme. As a matter of preference, out of all the ones I created, I find classic to be kind of cool.
Okay, radar shows you've got there in one piece. Let's go check it out.
So it's the same old level, pretty much everything works the same. I did make a few changes to enemy behaviors. There was an issue with their motion. The formations are supposed to collapse up to a certain point at the sort of the player's plane, if you want, and that was not happening, so they were bumping into each other. I had to fix a few things with that. In this scene, I haven't done a full playthrough in a while with commentary like this, so a few notes on this scene. The clouds were a huge deal of work, not to actually get done, but to decide which ones I would keep and which ones I would remove, because originally I'd put way more of these in the scene, and it looked great, except it was eating away at the frame rate because of the transparency. Transparency is actually a pretty huge cost on frame rate, so I had to scale back, and I managed to cheat in a certain way to make it feel like there were more clouds than there actually are. Is also in preparation for the eventual addition of the scene. I mean, I've been preparing to add a scene for about 4 revisions now. There's been changes to the path controller, the code that actually moves the ship and the camera around, and the way the dialogue is loaded and the music and everything had to be sort of made into modules that can be basically plugged into each other for each scene. Reuse the parts that have the code and plug the data of each scene separately, so a whole bunch of work has been done to get this working. The weapon or defense assists were done in the last revision. Really cool addition, especially with the pulverizer, the fact that you have the rapid reload, and as you can see here, the pulverizer's motion trails have been brightened and made blue now. And they look freaking awesome. Here it goes again, because I got a rapid reload here and energize, so if I shoot my gun, I'm really powerful. And if I shoot the pulverizer, I get a quick reload on it. There we go. All 9 bullets for that guy. And now I picked up a shield. And the rapid reload has expired now, obviously. There we go. There's the sound of the pulverizer reloading. That sort of air jack sound. Oh yeah, 5 enemies in one shot. That's always fun to do. The pulverizer is actually turning out to be a pretty cool creation. So here comes the first mini-boss. In the last revision, the mini-boss was extremely weak. I had to considerably increase its HP. If you end up picking up both WDAs in front right here, I'm going to try to do, there we go, your shots are incredibly powerful. And if you use the pulverizer, sort of partly missed there, you become really strong. So I had to increase its HP in this revision to actually make it a little more challenging. There we go. I took it out. I think that took me a good, like, 18-20 seconds. But if you're anywhere near less good at this, it's going to take you longer, and you're going to have to face him a second time later in the level if you don't defeat him in 28 seconds, I believe.
You get the triple gun. They give points too. The noob who made this game made those
actually
count.
Took a hit
Every
there.
2,000 points levels up your weapons. Take all you can get.
So yeah, there's also the weapon level system that's been implemented in the last revision, which your gun gets stronger as you collect points, and of course it gets weaker when you take a hit.
You can configure that and the WASD keys to something else in the startup program if you want. You'll get your chance to play with that soon. There's another formation of enemy ships right in front of you.
This is a feature that's not necessarily super useful, but it can help. It pressing the spacebar actually pushes the ship away from the camera. It sort of gives you a sort of different perspective on your range of motion. Oh, that was nice! All 6 in one shot. Always feels ah shit! I missed the shield. Always feels powerful when you get those shots in. There we go. Oh! Oh ho ho! You saw those shots try to go for the lower enemies and missed. That was awesome. Oh! I'll use all dead. There we go. Level up to. And as you can see also, for the close range aim, all those issues have been resolved when they're in previous revisions 1.3 and below. When you put your reticle on an enemy that was close, the bullets would fail to actually hit them. And also, I think mostly the big problem was that the reticle was acting really wobbly at close range. And this is far less the case. It's still not perfect, but it's doing much better. Now here there's a little long part here. This is the way I'm actually skipping the fact that you've already killed the mini-boss, who you would actually face again here. And my apologies to that. I'll try to figure out a way to make the skipping a little faster, because it does take a while to get through this part for no reason.
Fuck! Radar system's fucked. Something's wrong. I can't lock onto the clipper and get you out. Something's jamming the signal.
Here comes the scorpion, another bird that I gave more HP to because it's getting really easy to kill him.
Hang on, I'm stopping you right here.
And in this case, the pulverizer is not very useful for the scorpion. Now, I've noticed people using the VR, the default VR control scheme on YouTube, and they're not moving the ship enough. You actually have to look where you want the ship. So you actually have to look aside way more and shoot at the enemy out of the corner of your eye, because the look control is actually the position of your ship. Nudge is only to give it a little push here and there. What you want to be doing first and foremost is using the look control. Right now I'm using classic, so I'm using only the keys to move the ship around. The nudge keys are actually my main control. Oh, look at that! That was awesome. So if you end up facing the boss and you're only moving with the VR control just a little bit like this, you're not going to do much. But if you're doing this and shooting at the boss out of the corner of your eye and using the nudge keys, you're going to do good. But if you're not doing good with the VR model, switch to the classic control scheme. It may actually work out for you. So there's a timer here starting next scene in 12, 11, 10. So yeah, I put a little automatic countdown to the next scene there. Only if you defeat the boss, of course. You can skip to all the scenes, but I figured, you know, for a playthrough, it'll only automatically skip to the next scene if you defeat the boss.
You just materialized in a subspace tunnel right in the middle of warp. That should never happen. The Clipper's engine can't even do that.
Oh, and this wasn't intended on my part, but this might be cool actually. I kept my weapons level.
Something messed up the commands I'm sending to the Clipper.
There seems to be a few issues with Unity's destruction of objects between scene changes, and I'm not familiar with them yet. So I'm actually going to have a little bit of work to do on that, but so far, I mean, I'm very satisfied with what I've produced. Especially this level, it's incredibly cool. It flows well, and the new motion trails on the pulverizer is so freaking awesome. The WDAs, which I simply dropped in this new level, I mean, everything it built was really easy to reuse. It actually planned to be able to do this, and it worked out fantastically. And well, it's just giving out to be a semblance of a full game. It is not a full game, but it's a semblance of a full game. Now you can actually get an idea of what it would be at the next level, you know? And after this, if you want to know, my intention would be to add another landscape scene where you'd actually jump into another one of these things called Interleave.
Just I can't control where I'll break you out to. You're definitely not going home yet. I'll have time to figure out what to do once you're out of there. The bad news came right from the radar. There's something storming your way, and while I can't tell what it is, I can tell you it's big. Heads up, stay in one piece, I just need 30 more seconds.
Alright, this guy, I gotta fire the pulverizer and not miss my shots, otherwise I will not kill him. Just spam the pulverizer at him like crazy, otherwise it ain't gonna happen. And you make sure you don't miss with the pulverizer. Now you may take a hit in the process. There we go.
5,
4. So that's the fastest I've ever defeated it. Normally I defeat it when the countdown is like at 2. So it's a really tight battle. If you're experienced at the game, you're obviously going to go faster and faster, like I just did now. But it's very likely that you will not defeat it, and it will try to ram you at the end. You got to watch out for that, by the way. So that's pretty awesome right there. Full playthrough end-to-end of Interleave VR. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you download a copy if you have an Oculus Rift. And the best place to actually give me your opinion would be on Oculus Rift Share. Google that up, Oculus Rift Share. It's by Oculus VR. It's a website where all the demos are. And you can actually find Interleave VR in the pre-release category of that website. And you can rate it after trying it. So go ahead and give me a rating. Let me know what you think. Now that it's got 2 scenes, now that it's really providing the player with a far broader idea of what I intend to develop in the context of a full game. Of course, the enemies are still ridiculously simple. I haven't yet worked out ways of doing more complex paths, but you are getting a good idea of what I intend to produce if I'm going to go